I know you talked about in your book on writing, it was chapter 12, group therapy for writers, which you say is getting the most out of writing conferences and writers groups. Just as there's different, some actors are great in certain classes and sometimes it's not a fit. How does someone know if it's a fit in terms of the writing group? How do we know that, this is the writing group for me? Or maybe nice people, but I need to move on. I don't know if this is really the fit for me.
I think it depends on where you're at. Certainly, if you've written a couple of books or a couple of short stories or something, and if you have some material behind you already, whether or not it's published or not, but you've written a body of work, you have things to show. I think you may not want to be in a rank beginning group. You may want to find a group that's already, where everybody has at least, they're almost finished with their first one, or they actually have had something published, or they have a couple of short stories that they've done or something. In other words, it's not just starting off at the very beginning. I haven't written anything yet, and this is a beginning writers group. You want to try and find one that's at the same level that you are. At the same time, for people who just finished writing their first thing or just about ready to try and get their work out there, finding a writers group that's in their same genre is also very helpful. Mystery writers have a lot of groups. Children's books, they have a lot of groups. In fact, I'm going to be doing a workshop for our children's book writers in a couple of days. Finding it in the genre that you're in is important, because it's not just general book writing. Yeah, we're just going to do this, and because if you're writing in mysteries or romance novels, historical dramas, those kind of books. If you're in a particular genre of a book, it's best to be in a group that also has the same type of focus. Because certain agents look for only certain kinds of genres in writing. So, this is what's helpful, is that, again, they have regular writing conferences too. South Carolina Writers, Pacific Northwest Writers, California Writers has one too. The Greater Los Angeles Area Writers Group, there's one, it looks like it says GLAWS, G-L-A-W-S. There's a lot of them all over the place, and usually every state has at least one or two writing conferences where agents come, and you can book 5-10 minute appointments for them to take a look at your work, or where some of them will read like the synopsis and tell you whether or not they feel that your book is a good fit for them or not. And sometimes, people have been very successful in that. So writing conferences for novelists are also quite good if you do that. And writing groups like the South Carolina Writers, I mean, they have writers in all different arenas, and they break off into smaller groups according to, genres.
And now, where does someone find these local writing groups? Is this like Meetup?
Yeah, Meetup is a great one.
Yeah,
Meetup is a really, really good one. In fact, there's a gal I know who writes, and what she does is when she knows she's going to be, going on vacation or something, she has an agreement with her husband that he takes care of the kids for one day, and she goes and finds a meetup at wherever they're going for a writers group.
That's fun.
And she's so funny. I told her what she should do is she should write a short story about it, because she has met so many interesting people at these meetup ones. And it's great because then she has hosted some of these people from the different, when they come to her city, they do that. She meets up with them. And so she's made a lot of friends that way too.
I noticed with some of these meetups, not just even writing groups, but there's a cost to join. It's, and I get why, because someone's hosting it, maybe they have material that they're providing. And also I think they want to know, are these people going to be serious and not just show up? So what do you think is a reasonable cost to join for a writer's group, whether it's per week or per month?
Gosh, I really don't know, because the ones that I've seen, it's usually maybe per event.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends. Like the children's writers group that I'm going to be speaking at, it's $45, but it includes my book.
Oh, okay.
And so my book is $20. So it's you know, and the rest of the money helps to pay for the venue.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And refreshments and that. So, you know, I think you just have to gauge it. A lot of them, though, I've noticed are free too.
On Meetup, okay.
On Meetup, I've seen some that are just are free. They don't, but it's just a meeting. It's just a bunch of writers getting together and just talking about all the different things that, you know, about anything to do with writing, and maybe they discuss, you know, a little bit about their, you know, about their material and all that. So it depends. I mean, some of them there are no costs. I've seen some where it doesn't say anything about a cost, but I've also seen some that were as high as $50, $60, and usually though it's because there's a speaker and you have to pay the speaker, or in this case for the children book writers, you actually get a copy of the book, so you're getting something in return as well. You're getting a book as well as being able to hear a workshop.
What about the public library? Do they offer writing groups? I mean, do they organize that or no?
You know, I think they used to, but I just, you know, I hate to say it, but at least here in California, I've noticed what's very sad is that libraries are at risk.
Yeah.
And not just down here in Southern California, in Central California where I live, it's like that too. They just can't sponsor those kinds of things. Library hours are being cut shorter.
I've noticed, yeah.
Do you? I mean, I remember when I could go to the library at 8 o'clock at night, you know, and make my Xerox copies if I needed something done or something. And I notice now it now closes at 5:30. They used to be open all day Saturday and Sunday. I noticed they aren't open on Sunday anymore.
Same with our town, yeah. But certain other towns are. But not City of LA where we are, and the ones that I go to.
I think it just depends on the area that you're in. You know where I do think they've got a great system is San Francisco. The San Francisco public library system is beyond par. It's just as amazing. And they have speakers that come constantly, and it's free.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
So it's, you know, the meetup groups are great. If you live in San Francisco, go to check out the public libraries. They do. And there's a lot of writers who live in and around that Bay Area that actually come and speak for free.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Whenever one of their new books comes out, you know.